La Crosse.
It's a very, very special place.
You might think the city got its name from the sport. Well, you'd be half right. The city did get its name from a game. Many, many years ago, an explorer stumbled upon Native Americans playing a game with sticks that looked like a cross. Lacrosse, as it so happens, is the French word for cross.
There's just something about lacrosse.
But there are many other words that define this city.
Collaboration.
Collaboration.
Collaboration is the key word in the city of La Crosse now.
In this city named by sport, Veterans Memorial Stadium proves teamwork is the ticket. The arena built by brick and stone, but the foundation
Touchdown, La Crosse!
Built by collaboration.
That was the challenge. I mean, people could have sat back and looked at this whole project and said, this is too big a project.
State track meet was actually going to leave town because the facility just wasn't adequate for them anymore. And we said, give us a chance.
The original stadium was demolished. A year later, a $17 million facility stood in its place, with large thanks to the people who fill its seats today. 90% of the project was paid for privately.
If this would have been solely a UWL project, it never would have got done.
The partnership also involved the city of La Crosse, nearby Onalaska, and the county.
While they may have made up a small percentage of that total $17 million, their commitment to the project was essential. Because what it did, it showed these private donors that the city and the county is in on this, that they believe in what we're doing, and I think that that's important.
That spirit of collaboration is evident throughout downtown and here along Pearl Street, where we find ourselves in a gift shop. A few steps further, an art gallery. Around the corner, a coffee shop. And finally, in a shop of sweets.
Downtown is kind of nestled between the Mississippi River and Granddad's Bluff, and everything kind of leads to downtown.
Functioning as the heart of this community, the downtown is a vital organ.
Talk about an economic boost. This is it.
Steadily pumping revenue into the city's economy.
The value of the property down there is $195 million or something like that. And that has continually grown at a faster rate than the rest of the city.
We do have about 8 to 10 new businesses looking at moving into downtown La Crosse, and that's exciting.
This was a blighted area for years and years and years.
Just a short time ago, this area was certainly not very attractive.
It's night and day.
Not too long ago, the city's pulse was sluggish and slow.
And the mall came in.
All of the department stores left.
That affected everything.
Property values were not increasing. They were basically either stagnant or in some cases they were decreasing.
Cheers!
A defibrillator for downtown. The community came together.
And said, if we are going to have a downtown, then we need to develop a vision for what it's going to be.
The result was electric. Since 1993, over $125 million has been invested downtown.
There's been, millions of dollars invested privately, and the city has invested millions of dollars publicly, but it's because people really want to see a successful downtown is why it flourishes.
Last year they celebrated, I believe it was 145 years. If you want to come in, we can meet Bill. He's a great guy. So. I love all these guys in here. You're never going to go back to that same exact type of downtown that you had before malls started, but what you do have is a unique center, and you can create a neighborhood where you're not just relying on retail, but you're also relying on a neighborhood where people live, where they eat, where they find their entertainment, and that's why it's so important for a downtown to have an arts district.
It was the vision really of one individual that started the transformation, and now we have this beautiful performing arts center.
Nestled along the Mississippi, the Weber Center is named for the man who donated the property to make it all possible. A walk down the riverbank is a walk down memory lane for Don Weber.
I had no idea it was going to grow like it did.
A short distance away sit the buildings that house Logistics Health Incorporated, a wildly successful venture.
After my first year, I had 9 employees.
That began a tax-based boom downtown.
They've taken full advantage of the riverfront, which a lot of communities either haven't done or are just now starting to do.
A decade later, 2,000 employees are inside the trio of riverside buildings. A mix of restaurants, businesses, and to this day, LHI's headquarters.
That commitment to saying, I want my business to be here and I want my business to be in downtown La Crosse was instrumental in that portion of downtown La Crosse just taking off.
Don's dream for downtown has now become the norm.
There's tremendous private investment.
You don't just build standalone things for yourself.
The $8.5 million Weber Center is the new home of the La Crosse Community Theater and Viterbo University's theater department.
100% of the funds that it took to build this building came from donations from private individuals, businesses.
There are 450 seats inside the Lickey Theater. In its debut year, the Weber Center hosted over 30,000 attendees at nearly 150 performances. Add it all up, that's unlimited economic potential for downtown La Crosse.
Anytime that there's a play or a concert going on around here, it's in the evening, we're packed, before and after. So that's been phenomenal to see.
Like ripples in the river, a chain of cooperation has begun linking La Crosse.
And the rest of the leaders in town, like myself, we say, wow, Don's going to do this, we're going to jump in. I'm not a theater guy or gal, but I can see where this is good for the community. And the other guy says, I'm not a sports nut, but that stadium, we need that track meet to come back. This stadium is about to fall apart, and the state is going to put a Band-Aid on it. Let's build a new one. Let's get it done.
Dave Scogan knows a thing or two about community.
I've been here all my life, one wife, one job. And
after all, his grocery stores open their doors each day in cities across the state.
How are you today?
And just like the boomerang that brings the customer back, Dave believes we all have a responsibility to give back.
We're born takers. Children take, babies take. Only when we're taught to give do we learn to give. And I can tell you, it's been as much fun giving it back as it was earning it.
Could that be duplicated in other cities? Absolutely.
I think other cities can follow it. I do see it happening in some of the other cities.
It just takes someone to set the vision, create the picture so that you can get other people on board.
This is not, brain surgery. It's, again, working with the community to develop that vision and then working every day to carry it out.
I believe it's a model for other communities to follow, but it comes from right in here. It's got to be genuine. It's got to be that willingness to give.
And that's why I think people are really drawn to live here, because there's always something exciting and interesting happening.